Why commercial property is a profitable investment? In this video, I am going to uncover it, something that perhaps you have not thought about it. So if you want to know, let's stick around. What is a commercial property? Commercial property is a property where the business is happening. So if you look around anywhere, any shop, any offices, any industrial property, anything where the business is happening, that's a commercial property, which means your tenant is a business. Your tenant is actually somebody who is running the business of the company. So the lease is written in the tenant is a company, right? Now, what is the difference? Why the commercial property can be a profitable investment? Let's break it down. First of all, a business, they are doing business in that area, right? Any kind of company is doing the business. That means their goal is to make money. If their goal is to make money, they would be happy to pay a portion of that as part of your rent. Hence, whenever they are making more money, they will pay a portion of that as rent, and that rent should be enough for you to have a positive cash flow. So one thing that you need to understand or we need to look into is that the rent that I am getting, will it cover my mortgage payment and other expenses? If it is, then it's a positive cash flow and it's a profitable investment, right? The second thing also you need to look into is that is the rent going up? If the rent is going up, which is written in the lease itself, that itself is in the upward trajectory. Remember, if the loan amount that you have taken, assuming the interest rate remains same, so that means your expense will remain the same every year, but your income, which is the rental income, is keep on going up. If the rental is keep on going up, that's how you make money. The difference is always higher, hence it is a profitable investment. One more thing that we need to understand in a commercial property is what I call outgoings. What are those outgoings? Any other expense to hold that property, what all expenses that you have, which is your council rates, which is your insurance, your property management fees, all these expenses are called outgoings. These outgoings can be passed to our tenant. One of the example that I can give is that one of the property that we just bought, it was a gross lease. What does gross lease means? It means that the tenant actually only pay the rent and all these outgoings are paid by the landlord. So once we bought the property, we worked with our client, and what we have actually done is that we changed that to make from gross lease to net lease. How? Because some of these leases were like month to month. We changed that because it was like a big property, and there are about 7-8 tenants. So first 3 tenants that we took, and we asked them, hey, this is the new lease, and in that lease the rent will be the same, but the outgoings will be paid by you now. So from gross lease it become a net lease, and they agreed, and all of a sudden that gross lease, all the outgoings is paid by the tenant, the cash flow become more, and landlord is happy. On the other side, tenant is happy because yes, they are paying the extra for the outgoings, but they got a secured 3 years or 5 years lease in some instances. So having a 5 years lease means they are guaranteed they will be staying there for 5 years. From the tenant point of view, if they wanted to upgrade their business, want to do something, they want a longer lease, because having a longer lease gives them the authority to do business more, and for whatever venture they want to go in, they might change something internally because to make sure that they are comfortable, their employees are comfortable to do business there. So hence outgoing. So remember, commercial property is all about win-win situations, and if you are thinking about win-win situations, make that as a win-win, solve the problem, it is always profitable. In this instance, my client able to do this, just passing on these outgoings, able to make that as a net lease rather than a gross lease. So just by a simple paper swap, all of a sudden that lease got changed. It's a longer lease, both tenant and landlord are secured, and at the same time landlord is getting more rent because all these outgoings is paid by the tenant now, and on the other side tenant got a long-term lease, that means they are also secured. This is the problem that you will be solving. This is the way you will make money in commercial property. property, this is the way you can do this in, as a profitable business. That is not possible, in a residential property or any other kind of investment, which is why commercial property is more profitable than any other form of investment, whether you look for a residential, whether you look for a crypto, or whether even you look for a kind of a market share, because all these things you do not have control. It is controlled by someone else. Commercial property, if you solve it, you have a lot of control. Okay, so at the beginning I asked that why commercial property is profitable. Now hopefully you understood that just by giving one example why commercial property is profitable. If you want, you can make it profitable even more. It's about solving problem. It's about making sure that what tenant wants and you can give, as a result you can increase the rent. I hope you find this video helpful. If you like this video, consider subscribing our channel, turn the notification bell on so you get to see more videos like this, and it also helps us to reach out to more people like you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.